snap, you ready to get your arpeggio on? What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another video. You guys, you voted on it. You guys wanted more advanced lessons. I'm like, yo, then let's get it. Arpeggio mapping, that's what I call it anyways. We're going to map out some minor 7 arpeggios across all over the fretboard. So we're going to learn a big chunk of what I played there in the intro, and you can apply, actually I played the same thing basically just over 3 different chords. So we're going to go through all this stuff, 3 different examples for you. We're going to break it down. Get your tabs, they're linked down below in the description. If you would, subscribe if you're digging these lessons. And yo, let's go and dive into the lesson. All right, so let's get our arpeggio on. Like I said, we're doing all these A minor 7 arpeggios. What we're breaking down is this. Okay, now first things first, I'm gonna break it down into real small chunks of just the arpeggios, and if you want to, you can follow the timestamp. If you just want to learn the lick, the way it is, kind of with those repeating passages, that section's a little bit later in the video. So first things first is we're gonna talk about how we are mapping this out, how I'm seeing this. Now, what's really cool is I'm building this bass off of, I always recommend, you know, start with something you're strong with, something that is just a huge strength to your playing. For me, I started with the pentatonic scale, so I love to build off of the pentatonic scale. Every single note that I just played is out of your A minor pentatonic scale. All of it. Because if you think about it, an A minor 7, which would just have 4 different notes in it, it's 4 of the 5 notes of your minor pentatonic. So the first thing is we got to break down just what we're working with. Like I said, everything is an A minor 7 arpeggio here. So we're starting on 5th fret of the low A string. That's your root note. I'm going to hammer on to 8th fret. That's your minor 3rd. Then I'm going to go to 7th fret on the A, which is your 5th, or your E note, whatever you want to call it. And then your minor 7 is right here. 5th fret on the D, that G note right there. Okay, there's your, that's your A minor 7. That's everything that we play. It's just these 4 notes played in different inversions. So, okay, and I end it with 7th fret on the D, which is just a root note. Okay, so there's our first pattern. Now, I'm going to talk more about connecting these when I break down the entire lick the way that I played it a minute ago. But then our next pattern is here. And it's important to note that these are everywhere. I'm just showing you a few examples. You can literally link your minor 7 arpeggio, you know, through all of your boxes, all over the place. They're literally everywhere. This is just one example where I am, but it's just out of your minor pentatonic box. Okay? So, now the next pattern kind of starts where the last one ended. I'm going to go like this. Okay, so again, it's literally an octave of what we just played. But we're going to go 7 on the D and hammering on to 10 on the D. Okay, 9 on the G, and then 8 on the B. Okay, so. Okay, and I end it on 10th fret of the B, which is just my root note again, just like I did up here. Listen, if you hear the octave, okay, you can hear it's literally the exact same thing. But I use those to connect here in just a minute. Now, the next shape that I do is this minor 7 arpeggio. Okay, so I'm going to go from 9, and I'm hammering on to 12 on the G, going to 10 on the B, and then 8 to 12 on the high E string. So let's just take a minute here and really just kind of dissect where all of these are coming from. We started in box 1 of your minor pentatonic scale. I went to box 2, moved up to box 3. Okay, see how they're in all the positions, and they can you can continue them further through their lower octaves. Okay, which is what I did in the intro. Okay, now all you're going to do here for the next one is we're going to shift up. So you have. Okay, I started on 12th fret this time, so I'm starting on my minor 7. I'm starting on that G note. I'm going to go G, and I'm going to hammer on to 14th fret, sorry, 12th fret, hammer on 14. 13 on the B, to 12 on the high E string, and then 15 on the high E string. There's that minor 7 again. I might have called it a minor 3rd a minute ago. It's a minor 7, sorry. Okay? So, really, if you want to get good at mapping this stuff out, the way that I'm kind of going through it, is you just got to know your notes. Not just know the scale. Don't know that, oh, okay, this is box, box 2, this is box 3, whatever it is. Know the notes that you're playing. That'll help you. Because if you know that your A minor 7 is an A note, a C note, an E note, and a G note, then you're going to see any combination that you have those 4 notes anywhere, well, that's a minor 7 arpeggio. So you can just do it everywhere. You can map it out. Okay? There's that one. I have one more to show you here. And this one is kind of out of box 5. So this last one here was box 4. And then box 5. So I'm going to go 14 and I'm hammering on to 17 on the G. Then I'm going to go to 17 on the B. And 15 to 17 on the high string. Okay, so let's talk about it. We went from a root note. Minor 3rd, that's your C. Okay, there's your E note, that's your 5th. There's your minor 7, back to your root. So, same thing. Oh, check it out. We just did another octave. Boom, it's right there. I played, like I said, I'm just playing the same thing over and over again, but when you start linking it together, you can do a lot of really cool stuff with it. So that's the first part. So like I said, I just wanted to break them down into small chunks, and now we're going to orchestrate a little bit more of rhythmic changes and just patterns inside of it and repeating certain sections to link it all together. But you just take those notes, take the ones that we did here, memorize them, learn where they are, learn how the notes are stacking up against each other, move on to your other boxes, and try to find as many as you can. And like I said, there's way more than what I'm showing you. This is just a few. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take what I just played you, and instead of having them all individual and kind of like just scooting through it that way, we want it to flow. We want these to all flow together, except how I totally butchered that there for a second. Ignore that, pretend that I played it correctly. That's what I want it to sound like. Okay, remember, always end it bluesy. So what I'm doing here is I'm utilizing slides, hammer-ons, and position shifts to make this all sound just like one big arpeggio instead of a bunch of little ones. Because you see how you don't always have to approach things as like, oh, it needs to be this big 6-string arpeggio. String a bunch of 3-string arpeggios together and make, a never-ending arpeggio. So we started up here exactly the same. So that 5, 8, 7, 5, 7, okay? But what happens here is when I get to the 7 on the D, I slide up to 10. That's my transition note right there, okay? Okay, then I go to 9 on the G, 8 on the B to 10. So right there, it's so important. That slide is what sets you up. Okay, so I ascend that arpeggio. 10, pull off to 8, 9, 10. And what happens is I just kind of like ascend it. But this time when I go to 7, I hammer on. Back to 10, 9 on the G, 8, 10. So I go, okay, right there. Now instead of pausing and stopping there, I continue and I transition to my next shape, which I ended with my ring finger, so I'm going to use my, I ended with my ring finger. I'm going to use my index finger now to go to 9, hammer on to 12 on the G, 10 on the B, 8 on the high string, 12. So, okay, pull off back to that 8, 10, 9. Now here I reascend the same arpeggio again. Okay, so I went like this. As I play the wrong notes. Okay, then I go 9, 12, 10, 8, 12 again. So now what happens here is I add another slide and I transition into the next shape. But this time I actually throw out the full arpeggio for you. The full octave position. I go like this, I go. Okay, now what happened here was I went from 12. When I played that 12 on the high string, I slid up to 15. I don't pick it again. I do a pull up. Okay? It buys my right hand a lot of time to get in position for the picking. Okay, pull off the 12. 13 on the B. 14, pull off 12 on the G. 14 on the D. 15, pull off 12. Hammer onto 15. 14 on the D. 12 to 14 on the G. 13, 12, 15. Slide up to 17. Now notice how I ended with my ring finger. It's because I like to, vibrato and bend with my ring finger more than my pinky. So that's why I added that transition. Okay, so all together slow. Almost. It's harder for me to play that slow than it is to play it up to speed. Okay, so there's that one. Now let me show it into just a normal lick. Maybe you don't want that big arpeggio sound, but you want to incorporate this into a lick. So that would go like this. Okay, so there's that lick. Like I said, it's kind of just packaging it up inside of a little blues lick, but I added that little arpeggio run. Kind of Eric Johnson. Anyways, I lost my pick, but I was prepared because I had another one sitting right beside me. So, I like to use this blues building block in a lot of my videos because it's like something that everyone knows. So we're going to go 7 on the G, just, again, minor pentatonic. I haven't transitioned to anything. I'm bending that 7 up, and that classic, I call it an SRV lick, but I know someone did it before him. 7 on the G to 5 on the B to 5 on the high string. Now, instead of bending 8, I'm going to slide up here. It's all about getting yourself ready for what's about to happen. Normally, I'd pick the note better. But today I'm sliding. Okay? And then I go like this. So I'm going to go 8, slide up to 10, and then 9 to 12 on the G, to 10 on the B, to 8, to 12, to 10. Again, all pentatonic. I have not played anything that's not pentatonic. Now I'm going to go back to 8 on the high string, and I do a little half step bend here, kind of bending up to that major third. Then I'm going to go 8 on the B to 10. Okay, and there's your little lick. Like I said, you take it, you just throw it in there whenever you want to. It doesn't have to be a big kind of thing. It can be. Throw it in however you want, but there you go, advanced arpeggio mapping. That's how I like to do it anyways. So let me know what you guys think. Would you like to see more of these advanced lessons? Would you like me to break them down a little bit more? I figured since it's, geared towards more advanced players, you don't need me to like hold your hand through the whole thing. So other than that, I'm gonna bounce on out of here, guys. If you would, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got lots of cool things here coming. I cannot wait to show you what we've been working on. I have a new guitar course that's almost done, and just some really big life changes that are about to come on. So if you made it all the way to the end, let's do another one of these. Let's do another hashtag End It Bluesy. Leave a comment, End It Bluesy. I'll see you guys all later.